Hi, and welcome to A Punk with Toys. My name is Lawrence. Today we're going to take a look at the Action Force Trigger. This is Valaverse company, and this is Series 2B. So today I was able to get Trigger, the Garrison Cavalry, and the Weapons Pack Charlie in today, and I think Monday or Tuesday, I'll be getting Desert Red in. I ordered them separately because I was actually going to originally order these, I believe, from Big Bad Toys, but I figured, you know what, let's just order it directly. So, anyway, here's the figure in the box. I haven't opened them yet. I'm going to quickly open them, move them around, and then do the video. That way, it's not breaking it in. Kind of get it, see. Not exactly real time because nobody really wants to watch me open up a figure, but I'm going to open them up, get them out, and then we'll start moving them into the video. So anyway, here he is. Once again, this is part of Series 2B. This is from everything that I saw, all the figures that came out in Series 2. This was my favorite that I could see. Obviously, haven't seen them yet. So packaging still looks the exact same. You can see his weapons. Unfortunately, if you are an inbox collector, you can see that that sheet they use so the plastic doesn't get messed up. But what am I saying? Unfortunately, if you're an inbox collector, don't be an inbox collector because guess what? You can always put them back in the box. So open your toys up, let them breathe and play with them. All right, on the side here, they give his name, Trigger, Series 2, I guess, maybe? Anyway, artwork I really like. I talked about this before. The other Valaverse Action Force figures, it seems like they use the same artist. I really do like it. On the back, the cross-sell. Again, I've done reviews on all of them other than Garrison and Trigger. So I'll be doing these. Just right when I get them. There's your file card. Again, Hasbro. This is what we want to see with G.I. Joe. Although it might be kind of too late now. But anyway, it gives a little bit about him. Tells him exactly what his name is. That he's part of Action Force. It's a long story. I don't really know it all. Anyway, I'm not going to get it anymore. That's the box. Looks nice. I wasted enough time. Okay. Trigger, Valaverse, Action Force. Let's open them up. Review them. Going to compare them to a couple other classified figures that I'm using Valaverse weapons with, so you can kind of get an idea of, you know, what we're doing. All right, so here he is out of his plastic casing. Again, this is how it's held. You can see where all the weapons, the hands, and everything go. Now, I haven't even bent him yet because one of the biggest issues with Valaverse or Action Force on their Series 1 was figures breaking. I also had an issue with the Swarm Trooper, or whatever trooper it was in Series 2 with his leg breaking. But that was rectified because Valaverse sent out a replacement hip. So all's well that ends well because you know what? They took care of them. So this guy hasn't been moved. He has not been heated up. So now we're going to just see right now about posing him. I've dealt with enough of the Action Force figures to know how they should move and how they shouldn't. So we're going to mess with these right out of the box, and let's see if I do need it to warm up or not. So it's also June, and it's pretty warm out. So right off the bat, there is his shoulders, and I'm going to go right off the bat. And I'm going to say this again. I complained about this, and I actually had people say, no, that's not true, but one of the biggest issues with these figures is the way he tried to make it so the shoulder fits properly. G.I. Joe doesn't do it, but this right here gets in the way of getting a full T-pose. And unfortunately, I wish that's something they would do. What I don't like is that the pre-production ones that they showed do not have this. Again, I actually had people on their on different Facebook pages say, that's not true, and I even pointed it out with a picture with it circled. So anyway, let's get... So there he bends right there. Wrist bends. Okay, so no problems there. All right. Another elbow, no problem. waist, running back and forth. Give me 1 second because my dog is whining and he wants to leave my room. He'll probably want to come back in a second. Anyway, all right, so knees. Look at that, no problem whatsoever with that one. And here we go, second one, no issues. Look at that, good bend. Now you do have these straps that obstruct it a little bit, but in all honesty, how many people really can touch their butt or touch their heel to their butt? Not many of us, especially us old guys here that are collecting action figures. So there his ankles move. And so he's good. Right out of the package, no issues. So I guess there's not going to be too many complaints about this. I don't think you need to worry about these figures having any problems. Let's see, drop down hips. Not a huge fan of the drop down hip, but whatever. There they are. They work. Drop down hips on figures, sometimes they make me feel like they're just going to snap. You're eventually going to break them off. So, all right. So, what does this guy come with? I'm already running long here. So, he has his saw machine gun, which comes with the bipod. And we're just going to pop right on here. Possibly. There we go. Now, I brought my gung ho down here because I use him with the saw, and I'm kind of going to compare how big he is compared to this trigger figure. Comes with his microphone and headset, same that came with Duster. So I like that. And he's got his sidearm. I don't know what it's called. I'm not even going to try and make up a name for it. It looks futuristic, but in reality, it is a real weapon. And then he comes with his assortment of hands, which is all the same as all the Action Force. And then he also comes with the stand, which I don't believe I've used any of these stands. I do like that they tell you, say Action Force on it, and they leave this slit here for the file card. But in all honesty, these figures do stand pretty well, so you shouldn't have too many problems. So let's take a look at them. Now, I really do like this. Sergeant Slaughter version 2 comes with it. And as you can see, I actually put it on one of my beachheads because I just think it looks really cool. I like something other than a vest. We just kind of have this harness, or I don't know whatever it's called. So quickly, paint looks really nice. I don't see any issues. I like the camouflage here. Now he comes with the upper torso. Now these are new legs for version 2B. Him and Deseret will have them. They actually took away the boot cut, which isn't a big deal to me, but I'm going to say this right now, that if someone was to take this, if Hasbro was to take this away from classified, someone would complain, but I've heard people say it's not really that big of a deal. So it just shows you where some people stand when they're being a little biased towards, one company and not the other. These do not, these have these swivel bodies that a lot of people like more than the ab crunch. To me, I don't really care. It's either or. Butterfly joints here. Again, this is the same upper body as what Sarge version 2 uses and a couple of the other figures. And this guy here, hat does not come off, nor do the glasses, and I'm perfectly fine with that because both glasses on the Sarge are absolutely awful. I wonder if the classified Sarge will be able to do a better job, so I'm perfectly fine with this. The other thing that I like about this, looking at it, is that I think, in my opinion, Valaverse overpaints their figures. Sometimes less is more. And with my rollout figure, I actually am using the head sculpt of one of the SHIELD agents because I just think it looks better. than the rollout. So he does not come with a second head. I believe all the Action Force figures other than Sarge has come with a second head, at least the good guys that are kind of like the beachhead. But because he's wearing wife beater, it looked kind of stupid if he was wearing a mask like this. So honestly, looking at this figure, I really do like it. Again, I've already looked at this. I actually spent a lot of time yesterday. I love the detail. You can look, they even put paint on it, so you get some paint apps right there. The belt is made so it can be held, be grabbed. I didn't have an issue popping this back on when it came to my beachhead, where we've had issues with some of the other Valaverse figures and their vests. Once you pop them out, it's hard to get them back on. And let's see if we can pop off the wrist without heating it up. So, nice pull. This one came off really nice. So far, I'm going to say that's a win. So let's put on the cupped hand. Now, the one thing you do have to do is push these really tight, or else they kind of sit in there and they look like they're loose. I made a mistake in one of my videos, kind of overdid it. So, pistol fits in really nicely. No issues with that. Now we're going to take a saw machine gun, and let's see how well we can get it. Look at that. Really nice. Nice and easy. Now, here's the one thing I'm going to say. You know what? I'll address it at the end, if I remember. So, a lot of the issues with some of these figures is even though they have our butterfly here, in real life, we're, you know, pliable. Our bodies are actually going to bend into stuff, where unfortunately some of these things can't. So it's going to be hard to get some of them in a good action pose with a big gun like this. So I will work on that later on. So there you can kind of have it, but I got to get it up so it's kind of on his shoulder. So enough with that. So one thing I want to bring up is I brought up these guys here. I did want to show a couple things. And the one thing about the Action Force figures is that they're all the exact same size. And I know he's going to be making changes. And he talked about doing a bigger body. And then he also has a female body. So here's Trigger. He's their machine gunner. And then I brought the guy that I use for my machine gunner. Gung-Ho. And you kind of put them next to it. And you're going to say, well, they're not even close to being the same height. That's very true. So I'm going to take Beachhead. Let's put Beachhead right next to him. Take off this hat that I put on him. And you actually have a guy that looks to be maybe a little bit smaller. So, again, with the Action Force, all the figures are the same. They have, I believe, 2 sets of different legs, 2 different bodies, other than the Swarm and the Scarab. Scarab was the one. So, a lot of mix and match with the Valaverse. Not a bad thing, especially for a smaller toy company just getting started. The paint apps make them look like different figures. G.I. Joe, the Classified line, I mean, all the lines do it, but Classified solely. Again, Beachhead here uses Cobra Trooper, Major Blood, I believe Duke. There's a whole bunch of figures that use pretty much the exact same body with a mix and match of legs. So Valaverse does the exact same thing. I have no problem with it because they're not giving you always the same figure, but when you do get into those troop builders that they're selling, you know, you're buying the exact same figure that they're giving you with these figures. Which, okay, I mean, if you're willing to spend 22, 23 bucks on an army of them, that's up to you. I mean, I spent a lot on Classified. I spent a lot on Valaverse and many other lines as you guys have seen. So let's see how well this fits. Doesn't seem too bad. I actually have this on a classified Duke, I believe, and it actually fits pretty well. Again, I like the machine gun, like the paint app. It is different than this one, which is nice. I'm glad that they do stuff like that. So they give you different paint apps. This piece does come off, so it can look like you're actually reloading it. Your bipod. One of the biggest issues with the Valaverse is that their guns are extremely brittle and hard. That I've actually had one of the weapons fall and break, but oh well. I mean, you know, get some good, some bad with super hard stuff. So I do like this, and I pointed this out before. I really do like this. That's why I actually took it off of Sarge. I made Sarge a Cobra Trooper because, let's be honest, he's a turncoat that turned his back on the USA and Hulk Hogan. So anyway, I used this. I did this just last night. I was trying to find a figure that I already had. And I think it's really cool. So you can see that the colors are different. This is Sarge's. There's triggers. But I like it. I think it looks really cool. It's nice getting something other than just a vest. But looking at this figure, you can get them in nice positions. Again, no boot cut. But no issues with the paint. I think it looks really nice. Got this textured wife beater that actually looks like how a wife beater looks. Yeah, so there you go. There's your trigger figure. Absolutely no issues with bending and anything breaking. So looks like Valaverse has gotten that taken care of. So let's wrap this up. All right, so let's wrap up with the Action Force trigger figure. One thing I did try was how the new mold, it's the first time I've seen these, actually fit with the pegs. If you remember version Wave 1 had some issues, no issues here. So there was a lot of concerns starting off with the original Valaverse line, the Action Force line. I can say that even though when you went online, you either found people completely dogging it, which is the reason why I started doing reviews on these figures. People either dogged it or they praised it. There was no in between. There was no actual honest video. I'm not going to say it at all. It was hard to find an honest video, and that's what I was trying to do. And the one thing that I can say is, even though the people that were defending it and saying how there's nothing wrong with this, you have Bobby Valley, who's the owner, coming out saying that, hey, you know what, yeah, we understand that there's an issue with some of the plastics, that they're too brittle, that's why you got to heat it up. Not a big deal. A lot of action figures, you have to heat them up, put them in water. And when people say, I've never had that, maybe you've never had it, but go pick up a NECA. Good luck. I had an issue with getting any of Wave 1, Series 1, getting the pegs in. I mean, I'd have to push, and it was not the bases. It was actually the peg holes. That's been taken care of. Getting the hands off. So I didn't try this hand. So the hand came off perfectly fine. Again, good figure. I really do like it. I mean, it would be kind of cool if you could take his hat off, but again, once you start taking hats off, especially a hat that's supposed to look like this, it starts to look too big and too bulky. Maybe if giving us a second head, who knows? I'm not really going to complain about that too much. So the one thing I did want to kind of express, it's not concerned, but when people talk about the value that you get with Action Force, and you do get a good amount of stuff. You get a stand, which honestly, I don't use any of these stands. I hardly use any of my stands for any of my figures. Some of the earlier classified figures I do. Where you really need stands, to be honest, is in non-military figures. Yeah, you get these military figures with boots and everything. They have a big wide path. It's on figures like Daredevil, some of the X-Men, where they're kind of wearing these small boots and they tend to fall over. Most of the classified, they have big boots. Like, you don't have to worry about it. They're not going to fall over unless if it's something that's going to be banging into a table all the time. So I don't really think you need all these stands. It's nice that they give them to you. But my other complaint, not a complaint, but it's the hands. I got a lot of hands. They give you 8 hands. Now, I'm going to say this right now. All my figures can only have 2 hands. So it seems nice they give you different options. But the problem, in my opinion, and it's not really a problem as much as just I don't need them, is that when you have all these figures, you have a boatload of hands. So the perceived value of getting all these extra options is great, except for I don't need a lot of them. It's like Super 7 giving me 3 heads. I don't need 3 heads, especially 2 with barely have different face sculpt. Again, I don't need so many hands. Give me a pack of hands. That if I want to order hands, I can order a pack of hands that do different things. And bring down the cost. Now, I'm not going to complain about his cost because he's kept them down to $32. And as we've seen with new G.I. Joe, he jumped over to $34. I have a feeling these figures after Wave 3, you're probably going to see a price hike because everyone's going up. And unfortunately, smaller companies definitely going to have to pass the buck on to someone. That's going to be honest, and that's understandable. But I am rambling on. I don't know why I'm rambling. Anyway, so that's my thing. I don't think we need so many hands anymore. Sell a pack, so you can do a whole bunch. Give a couple. Do it where some of them have, as a right hand, one figure's a right hand, another figure's a left-handed, and then you can swap them. Trigger hands. You don't need to. I mean, again, a lot of them are the same colors, fists, different things like that. So I'm gonna wrap it up because now I'm just talking. And this video's gonna be like 20 minutes long, and that's probably longer than anyone wants to watch. So anyway, this is your trigger figure. I really do like him. I've been waiting for this figure. He really looks like, he looks like your Special Forces figure. And seriously, who doesn't love a assault machine gun? I absolutely love it. It's gonna look nice on him. And someone like Gung Ho over here definitely looks a little small. Well, he just looks big. How about that? Gung Ho is just big. That's how he's supposed to be. So, anyway, if you liked the video, give me a thumbs up. Follow the channel. Order the figure if you like it. You can get my Big Bad Toys Dork side, or in a couple days, you'll be able to order it on Valaverse.com. I'm not going to tell you to support the company. I'm going to say purchase what you like. For me, it's a no-brainer. It's a nice figure. He has made his figures better as they've gone along. And that's what you want from a company. You want a company to take a look at the previous figures, say, where was the problem? What can I fix? What can I make better? And then they actually go ahead and they make it better. I don't believe every company does. And if you watch any of my videos, you'll probably know exactly which company I'm talking about. So, anyway, I'm going to get out of here because, again, the video's going to be like 20 minutes long. And you guys don't want to see me for that long. So, anyway, I'm going to wrap it up. Follow the channel. Punk with Toys on Instagram. Also, if I forgot to mention it, which I did, Twitter now, Punk with Toys. I'll be able to post. You'll be able to see when I put reviews up. Hit the bell, do all that stuff, blah, 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 blah. I don't care. Anyway, I'm out of here. Have a great night and happy toy hunting. Alright, quick update. Trying to remove the hand. It snapped right off. Now, in the video, you can see I had no issues, but just trying to take it off. Now I have a hook, and I'm going to have to nicely, slowly pull that out. So, it's unfortunate, but I did have this issue with some of the other, with at least one of the other Valaverse. I guess he's going to end up being a righty. Or I can use another one of the bunch of hands that I have. So, anyway, this is at the end of the video. I'm only doing this because, again, this was right after I finished the video and I was trying to post him to 2 still shots.